Did you know you have a right to settle that debt for much less than you owe? DebtBlue has helped people just like you resolve millions of dollars of high-interest credit card debt. They can help with payment relief, the burden of rising inflation, and have a large portion of your debt wiped clean. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, a free 10-minute phone call could save you thousands. Discover how to reduce or completely resolve your credit card debt. In fact, we're so sure that we can reduce your debt that we offer the DebtBlue Success Guarantee. We don't get paid unless your debt gets reduced or resolved, so there's absolutely no risk to call. For your free debt resolution plan, call 800-375-1158. That's 800-375-1158. The call is free. The consultation is free. The more you owe, the more you can save. Call now, 800-375-1158, 800-375-1158.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
What's up, y'all? I'm Cheryl Swoops, WNBA champ, 3-time Olympian, and Basketball Hall of Famer.
And I am Tarika Foster Brasby, journalist, sports reporter, basketball analyst.
And we are here to talk about the obstacles that women face day to day.
Athlete or not, we know it takes a lot as women to be at the top of our game.
We want to share those stories.
So listen, we'll talk to athletes, coaches, media personalities, entertainers, working moms.
Because no matter who you are, there are levels to what we experience as women. And T and I have no problem going there.
So if you want to hear real women having real conversations, then tune into our new podcast, Levels to This, with Cheryl Swoops and Tarika Foster Brasby, an iHeart Women's Sports production in partnership with Deep Blue Sports and Entertainment.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeart Radio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland,
Leander, and Silsbee, Texas,
or wherever you may be listening. This is a Turn Up Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. The Zone. Texas baseball gets rewarded for its efforts. The NBA Conference Finals start tonight. We have Joe Cook of Inside Texas at 7:34. The tush push in flag football may be a part of the NFL landscape. And oh yeah, what quarterback has the most to prove in the NFL? And this is according to CBS Sports. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. And if you want to voice your opinion or give yourself a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Judas Priest and Alice Cooper, all you got to do is use that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. You know the iHeartRadio app, the one that is always free, and you have us #1 on your preset. Mark, baseball season has been outstanding. We talked about it. And you know as well as I do, you've had a son that's played sports. I got a son that's played sports. You got a daughter that plays sports. We got kids that are out there. And at the end of every season, guys get rewarded for their efforts, whether it's all conference, all district, all American, whatever it may be. And there's still a lot going on, but they are led by people that can help get them to the next level, that can get them and get the most out of them. So yesterday, the SEC gave out their awards, and there was a couple of awards that were given out to the University of Texas baseball team, and some of them are pretty doggone special.
I have something to add to that. You know what I know now that I wish you knew then? You know, Galvin? This guy's the SEC freshman of the year. Yeah, I got one thing for us. How about our SEC coach of the year, Jeff?
Congratulations to left-handed pitcher Dylan Valentis, who was named SEC Freshman of the Year, and Texas baseball coach, who will be on the show with us this week, this Thursday, Jim Schlossnagle, as he was tabbed the SEC Coach of the Year. Also, along with Valentis being joined on the first team, he was joined by his catcher, Rylan Galvan, who's put up big numbers. And that wasn't it for Rylan Galvan. He was also named all defensive on the SEC all defensive team, along with Kimball Schusler, who, by the way, was his first year playing first base, and he made the all defensive team. Ethan Mendoza at second base and Will Gasparino in center field, all were named to the SEC all defensive team.
Wow, man. These are kids.
They're making these are guys that are about to make a lot of money at the next level when they get drafted.
When they get drafted, but right now they own the 40 acres.
No doubt.
And let's keep them here because next year, I know we're not through it this year.
I was going to say, let's
get through this year. But I'm just saying, like they're going to be better next year. They're going to be more mature. They're going to be more focused. They're going to be more physically ready for what the on-taking of the season. And the experience of being there before.
No doubt.
Brother, there ain't no substitute for being there before. And we always tell our kids, hey, stop that. Act like you've been somewhere before.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yep.
Experience is king.
Yeah, this Coach Schlossnagle is the third coach in the program's history to earn all conference, Coach of the Year honors. Coach Gustafson, who recruited me, Augie Garrido, and he was the first-time skipper, and this is his 9th conference Coach of the Year, and this is his first in the SEC. So Coach Schlossnagle has done an unbelievable job. Texas is sitting at 42-11, which marks its best record in 15 years.
Wow.
They had 17 wins against quad 1 opponents this year. And we've talked about it before, and even Coach Schlossnagle has come on this show and mentioned it. You never know what you have going into a season. You know you may be pretty good here. You may be pretty good there. You've got some things that need to change about your presence, right?
Yeah.
But now you start to look back at the beginning of the season. You look at the one-run games that Texas was able to get the victories from. You look at the pieces that became an integral part of the success for the team. We didn't know what Ethan Mendoza was going to bring.
No.
We didn't know what Adrian Rodriguez was going to be. We knew they were talented players. You didn't know that. You didn't know that you were going to miss 26 games of Max Ballou, your former all Big 12 player of the year last season and the MVP of the league. You didn't know you were going to miss that. But what you did was piece some guys together. He said at the beginning of the year, look for Tommy Farmer to be a part of our success. He's going to be a player to pay attention to. Tommy Farmer played all year and did a really good job that wasn't expected of him from what we saw the year before.
Yeah, and also you remember the first 20 games. Let's say 20. I can't remember exactly. We had Coach on, and I was like, Coach, y'all on a roll. Like, man, like it's y'all, it looks like the big game is. He said, Mark, we haven't got to our conference yet, conference play.
Right.
He said, we'll know how good we are after a few series in our conference play.
Yep.
Well, well, here we are.
Yeah.
We know how good they are, Hardge.
Very impressive.
Ain't that amazing?
Very, very impressive, especially when you sit back and you think about the journey of this. A lot of folks, and there's still a lot of haters out there. I've seen it. It's all over the place.
I live with one.
I mean, it's this. I'm talking about the haters towards the University of Texas and the university getting Coach Schlossnagle from Texas A&M. Those folks are like, oh, I can't believe it. And that's why Coach Schlossnagle told us, I stay away from social media, so I don't know a lot that is going on during that time. But you start to understand how this all breaks down. This is what this is all about. This is that opportunity for everyone to understand that the journey is not over. It's just beginning. This is the first year. This is the first season with this coach and this staff and what they've been able to do. Now you get out and recruiting. Now the conversations are, we're winning. Do you want to be a part of that? You start creating opportunities for this program to continue to grow. We talked about it the other day when you start to look at this university and where they are and where they came from. Because you and I saw the glory days. Then we saw the dark days.
Boy, we saw the outer space dark, under the bed dark.
Like lights out dark.
Dark.
Now you're starting to see these particular moments that have been created because of the success and the hiring and the processes and everything. But most importantly, these athletes are coming here and wanting to be a part of the change.
Yeah.
That's the part that has been really
winning.
Cool. Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, no doubt. But they're part of it.
You want the bag, but you want to win.
No, when I say change, I'm talking about the actual change.
Yeah.
Like the change of the program.
I
not the change in your pocket.
Yeah, I got you.
This has been pretty cool to witness. This has been pretty cool to see. And, you know, if we never had spoken to Coach Schlossnagle or got a chance to know him, with our weekly conversations, by the way, Thursday, 8:00, we might move it because they do play on Thursday, and we'll get into the SEC tournament, which starts this morning. But you start to understand how he works and the work that he's put in and his staff has put in and the belief in these players that he has found a way to get it done. He made shirts, and it said, win anyway. And you can use it in any way. Win anyway, regardless of the situation, or find a way to win. Win anyway.
You can.
So it's a mindset. It's a mindset, and these guys have gotten that mindset. So congratulations to Coach Schlossnagle. Congratulations to Dylan Volantis, who was the last signee of that class last year. So good stuff by them. When we come back, we're going to talk NBA. That's right. The Western Conference Finals start tonight. And who are some of the key players? And I'm not talking about Anthony Edwards or SGA. We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show with Craig Way.
Tex Schramm, you'd hear him on with Brad Sham when we had the show and I was the producer for it, called Ask Tex Schramm. This was like 1987. The football Cardinals were moving to Arizona. Brad Sham is doing the show. And so he asked him, he said, well, does that mean also now there'll be a change that the Atlanta Falcons would move from the NFC West to the NFC East? The Texas response was, well, once you're on an airplane, what difference does it make?
Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300, The Zone.
The JV and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Some stop and go traffic out there on I-35 northbound, making that drive from Onion Creek Parkway up to William Cannon at about 10 minutes to the drive this morning. There's also a new crash on St. Elmo Road at Pleasant Valley Road and an accident being worked on. First responders are on the scene on 620 at North Quinlan Park. I'm Jason Bostic with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cordell and Cordell.
Cordell and Cordell. Divorce and family law. CordellCordell.com. 866-323-7529. 866-323-7529. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Graduation caps are fixing to be flying and summer plans are heating up. So why not kick it all off with a brand new Chevy from Covert Hutto? Check out deals like $12,250 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST, $4,000 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Tahoe Premier, and $4,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Equinox LT. See dealer for details. Covert has been family owned since 1909 because trust, value, and Texas pride never go out of style. CovertChevyHutto.com. Together, let's drive.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
In today's Marketers Report, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, weighs in on audio's ability to reach any audience.
Everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. So it's a great way to take something very precise in what we're trying to do to reach patients with something that I think we can all agree is somewhat broad in reaching many, many different audiences.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia can get more people to hear your message than anyone else. For better results for every budget, visit iHeartAdvertising.com.
And Doug.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Who owns the summer? Big Three. Who's got the hottest professional 3-on-3 basketball league of the summer? Ice Cube's Big Three. It's summer in the city. The Big Three's back. Tune in to CBS and Vice all summer long. That's right. Ice Cube's Big Three. The best 3-on-3 basketball league in the world. Don't miss the incredible showdown. Playing the game like it's meant to be played with your favorite Big Three players like Dwight Howard, Michael Beasley, Jordan Crawford, Gerald Green, Kemba Walker, Jason Richardson, ISO Joe Johnson, Montrezl Harrell, and many more. You'll also see the legendary and Hall of Fame coaches like Michael Cooper, Calvin Murphy, Steven Jackson, Nick Young, Nancy Lieberman, and Julius Dr. J. Irving, George the Iceman Gervin, and the 2024 Big Three champion Gary Payton. Fire up the grill and bring in the family. It's Big Three, baby. Summer in the city. And we got a special halftime musical guest. Tune in to CBS Advice all summer long. Oh, yay, yay.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Hit play on the perfect summer playlist like Summer Classics. Road tripping with commercial-free weekends on Smells Like the 90s. Or zone out in the shade with a good podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio app. Find your next summer preset now.
iHeartRadio.
Everyone loves The Office. Admit it. You wish you had a Dundee. Instead, you have this, The Office Deep Dive Podcast, hosted by Brian Baumgartner, a.k.a. Kevin from The Office. Every week in this new hilarious podcast, Brian sits down with one of his old friends from The Office as they discuss their favorite moments on set and never-before-told stories.
Your kids watch it?
Never.
No, come on.
They've never watched it. Listen to The Office Deep Dive on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Welcome back to a Turn Up Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, the Mark Henry, and our guy Marcus behind the boards. Coming up in the next segment, we'll talk to Joe Cook of Inside Texas, talking all things Texas Longhorns. And also, before I forget, I wanted to point out to everybody about Coach Schlossnagle. Coach Schlossnagle also got a $50,000 bonus for being named Coach of the Year, and he got another $50,000 bonus for winning the SEC. So he made a cool $100,000 yesterday and Saturday. But I want to get into the NBA because the NBA is really, really starting to find its groove. When you start to look at the playmakers like Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves and OKC Thunder with SGA, they each need to try to find some complementary pieces. Tonight, the game will tip off at 7:30. OKC is favored by 7.5 points for those that are wondering. And this series is going to feature, as I said, two of the most exciting players in the league. But my question to you, Mark, is who is going to be the complementary version for each of these teams? They've got different players, and some would say because of his top of mind, Alex Caruso, what he was able to do defensively for the Joker. And we'll get into a conversation about the Joker because I want to get your thoughts on that. But you start to look at some of the other pieces for each of these teams, and I'm just curious to who needs to step up in this moment.
I think the number one guy that needs to step up is Holmgren.
Holmgren. Check Holmgren. Yeah.
Chet needs to step up, man. He's 7'1".
Yeah.
If you're 7'1", you need to dominate these guys.
Right.
And he's the mismatch. Like, well, who's the answer for Minnesota? You're gonna put a liability in the Eiffel Tower out there on him? No. Like, there's such extreme mismatches between Minnesota and OKC. Julius Randle can't play him. Julius Randle 6'9".
But if he's I would differ on that because they both play the same type of basketball game. They play on the outside. Both of those guys, Julius Randle and Chet Holmgren, plays on the outside.
I don't know if I told you. Chet Holmgren is 7'1".
And what does that mean?
He's going to shoot right over Julius Randle. They're
That's
going to
fine.
isolate them.
That's fine. I would let him shoot because he hasn't shown me that he can be consistent that way. He's not going to – he may be – what'd you call him, 7 what?
7'1".
But he weighs 155 pounds.
Okay, you're exaggerating, sir.
So Julius Randle is a thicker player.
He's also got Williams, who's
that's okay.
He's
that's
a hybrid,
the X factor that I would look
big
at.
guy, small guy. He plays the in-between game. He, for a lack of a better term, he sucked the beginning of the last series and this series. But the last two games, he stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the others, as Kendrick Perkins would like to call them, stepped up. The Carusos, those guys that came off the bench first, they all stepped up in a role. Your job is to go steal the ball.
Yep.
Your job is to rebound. Like when you have people that have accepted the roles that they play, you're good. And they have so much depth. And we talked about this yesterday. The game is going to how much depth do you have?
Yep.
And they have two waves of players. When they go to the bench, there are guys that come off the bench and they're not as good as the starters, but they don't let the game lapse. You don't have a drop-off. You have consistent play. And I just feel like it's going to be hard to beat Oklahoma City.
I think it's going to be hard to beat Oklahoma City, but I also look at the depth on it for Minnesota. You were talking about it. You've got second waves of players that could come in for Minnesota as well. You look at what Jaden Daniels has been able to do defensively for Minnesota.
Mike Conley is the only guy I'm afraid of off that bench.
Oh, well, Mike's the starter, but Dante DiVincenzo coming off the bench,
now,
he will light you
problem.
up too.
He's a problem.
He would be able to come off there and make some things happen. But you look at what these guys, Nas Reed is a problem. You forget about him.
Foul. He have a fouling problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I think this is probably a more even matchup than some of the other matchups. I think the way that Minnesota can play, if Anthony Edwards doesn't, and I know we said not these guys, but if Anthony Edwards plays the game the way that he had just recently,
they're
where
gonna get blown out.
He had 12 assists. He was getting everybody involved. They've been sitting at home chilling in case we forgot.
The last two series we've watched him. We watched him against the Lakers, miss. We watched him go like 5 for 17. If he have a 5 for 17 game against Oklahoma City, they're going to get beat by 30. 30.
I love
Not
it.
30.
I love it.
30.
I love it. The last game against the Golden State Warriors, he was 8 of 15. He had 12 assists, and he had 22 points, and his plus-minus was 20.
That's one game in a series.
I'll go back to all of them. I'll go back to all of them. I'll go back to all of them.
Go back to it.
Because if you start to look at how he's been able to dish the ball, that has been the biggest part for him to have his success. In the previous game, he was 11 of 21, 6 of 11 from 3. He had 30 points, and he was +6 against Golden State.
I'm not trying to start an argument with you.
Oh, I'm not going to argue.
I'm just saying.
I'm giving you the facts.
I know you're giving me the facts, but do you pay Anthony Edwards to dish the ball off?
I just told you he had 22 points.
Hard, you know what I'm saying.
So do you want him to play within the game, or do you want him to try to get his
dominate and score?
What do you think that was, Mark? What do you think that was, Mark?
Throwing assists?
12 assists and still had 22 points? That's a complete ball game.
That is a complete game.
Right.
But one game. He don't play like that every game.
Bro, I just gave you 2 in a row when they needed him. He went out and played the way he was supposed to play. The problem is if you get him to shoot 30 times,
right,
you're not winning.
No.
You're not winning the game.
Yeah.
So he needs to stay within his confines of how he plays.
I like desserts.
Oh my God.
Can you
not
put
shocked by that,
can
man.
you put a dessert? I'm not gonna bet no money.
Yeah.
But like I will bet like a really nice dessert or some donuts or something like that.
We can bet some donuts.
Donuts. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can bet some donuts.
Come on, thank you.
Okay.
I don't
But
think that Anthony
bet?
Edwards
is
is going to be able to. He's going to have SGA on him.
You think SGA is an elite defender?
Yes. He's not. I didn't say elite, but he's quality.
Okay.
He's going to have Caruso running at him. He's going to have Dort running at him. He's going to be tired. He gets no break. He gets no break. Oh, I can't wait to see Conley. I can't wait to see Conley trying to stop any of the people I just named.
What is our wager?
I want a half dozen.
No. I'm not. We know we got donuts on the line. What is the stat line that you are talking about? Is this for the series or is this for right now?
Game to game.
Okay. So
every game,
somebody got to bring donuts in every game.
I want a half dozen donuts.
No, we ain't doing that. We'll do it at the end of the series. Yes, a series.
All right, a dozen donuts for the series.
Okay.
Dang.
And who
Marcus gonna eat 4 or 5? I'm gonna let him be left with 2 donuts.
Why Marcus like, man, I ain't even trying to be a part of this.
No, this fool is tripping.
Facts. Okay, so we got a dozen donuts on this wager.
I said a half dozen because I want 6 donuts.
You can have the 6. You can. That's fine. But my question is this: What is the final verdict of this wager?
The final verdict is
who outplays
Anthony
who?
Edwards will not play the way that he played in this last series. He's going to be the reason they lose the series.
Okay. All right. We will
And
definitely.
if he's not,
we'll
then
clean
I
this up
dozen
and try to
donut.
figure it out too. We'll figure it all out about what's next for us. But
Call
speaking
my
of
guy
next,
Sion over there, Shipley's.
Here
Send
we
me
go.
some donuts, man.
we're going to talk to Joe Cook of Inside Texas coming up next. He's going to talk all things Texas Longhorns right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Taking a look at the drive this morning on I-35 going southbound, about a 10-minute delay due to congestion between Highway 45 over to Runberg Lane. There's also an accident on Springdale Road at the eastbound service road of Highway 290. Watch out for an accident on St. Elmo Road at Pleasant Valley, as well as an accident on 620 at North Quinlan Park. I'm Jason Fossey with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
You know, I love pizza just about any time of year, but with the weather getting warmer, I really enjoy a great slice of pizza. And no place better to grab that slice of pizza than Tony C's Pizza and Beer Garden, serving New York-style pizza and authentic Italian, now open down south at Kohler's Crossing and Kyle, as well as in Round Rock in front of Del Diamond, or on Anderson Lane near Shoal Creek Boulevard. It's Austin-owned and operated. You can dine in, you can pick up lunch and dinner. How about their pizza of the month? It's prosciutto and pear. Pear, prosciutto, gorgonzola, arugula, and honey. Don't forget they have 2 for Tuesdays with 2 pizzas for the price of 1 every Tuesday, and it's Picture Perfect Thursday every Thursday. Half-price pitchers of beer every Thursday. I've been enjoying it for years, and you know, happy hours every weekday from 3 to 6 with $3 off appetizers, $2 off 22-ounce drafts, wine by the glass, Frosé, and Bellinis. Located on Anderson Lane near Shoal Creek and Round Rock in front of Del Diamond, and in Kyle at Kohler's Crossing, Tony C's Pizza and Beer Garden.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry. Terry! Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
At Napa, we've spent the last 100 years building our business into an engine that powers yours. Whether you're big or small, national or local, Napa has the automotive solutions your business needs to stay moving. And it's all driven by a nationwide network of quality parts and exceptional service on one mission: to keep your business moving full speed ahead. That's why we are the pros that know.
Jake Myers smacked a tie-breaking homer in the 7th to lift the Astros past the Rays in Tampa. The SEC baseball tournament gets underway today at the Hoover Met. Texas has a double bye as the number 1 seed. The Timberwolves and Thunder meet tonight in Oklahoma City to open the West Finals. Pacers will visit the Knicks tomorrow night in Game 1 of the East Finals. I'm Rhonda Moss.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Visit your local authorized dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/dream.
iHeartRadio Did You Know? Presented by iHeartRadio. You know, what you're listening to right now. Did you know that iHeartRadio is always free to listen to your favorite stations, podcast, artist radio playlists, and more? Yep, free to download and free to use. But there's a next level iHeartRadio experience as well. iHeartRadio All Access, where you can search and play any song, enjoy unlimited skips, download all your music to your phone to listen offline with no connection, unlimited playlist creation, and so much more. You can try it out free for 30 days and see what the iHeartRadio All Access experience is like. Why not? Open the iHeartRadio app and in settings, tap to start your free 30-day trial. Everything you love about free iHeartRadio plus so much more with iHeartRadio All Access. iHeartRadio, #1 for music, radio, and podcasting, all in one app.
iHeartRadio.
Texas baseball plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We always start our Tuesdays off by going with the man with the plan of Inside Texas. He's our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas, and you can follow him on social media at Joseph Cook 89. Joe, I'll ask you a baseball question a little bit later, but right now I want to get into Texas football and the offseason, and this is the time of recruiting. Tell us a little bit about some of the guys Texas got a commitment from, but most importantly, who is on the watch list for the University of Texas.
Yeah, so in the past week and a half or so, they've gotten a handful of commitments. Jermaine Bishop from Willis, same high school as DJ Lagway, one of the top athletes in the country. You may look at 5'11", 165, but you look at what he's doing on the field, and you're like, okay, this guy can go. Can play both sides of the ball, probably going to end up playing defense. They also went to Louisiana, got Hayward Howard out of New Orleans, Edna Carr. Just a really good defensive back prospect, true corner prospect. Someone who a lot of credit does go to Terry Joseph to start this process, even though he went to the Saints. There was a good switch to Mark Orfe and Dwayne Akina that made this one possible. And then last was Yaheem Riley. Did go to LBJ, transferred over to where I'm up in Austin, and to go to Anderson. Really, really versatile defensive back. He was at he visited a few weeks ago, I think around April 12th for a Texas scrimmage. And, a lot of the recruiting media that covers Texas hangs out outside Moncrief to wait and talk to a lot of these prospects. Dwayne Akina walks Yaheem Riley from the front door of Moncrief all the way to his car. We're like, we probably don't see Dwayne Akina do that with just, anybody. Someone who can probably play safety. I'm going to assume that he's getting a little bit of a ratings depression just because of AISD. Yep. You see a lot of prospects who come out of here. I mean, I think of Ed Small from last year. And I think Andrew Makuba was able to overcome it, but you just see a lot of different prospects from AISD get overlooked. That may be happening with him. I think he's a really good addition to the class. And, you have to put a defensive back class together. Like you put an offensive line class, you have pieces, you have people who fit in certain positions, and Texas is adding them at all the right spots for the secondary.
Well, let's talk about it a little bit more because you brought that up about the recruitment of the local athlete. And this is something that I have been really, really pushing for because I know it's easy to go to Dallas and Houston to kind of find those types of players. But I believe that in this area, it is starting to develop. Is Texas looking to do more recruiting here in its own backyard?
Yeah, I think they understand, there's definitely an aspect to this being a place to come and get talent. And not only just because it's, 20, 30 minutes away from you, but because they're really good players. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who's kind of in contention right now. You can almost extend, at least for Texas, you can kind of extend it all the way from San Antonio, and at least as far as, kind of recruiting sphere goes, go up to Waco and consider that your area. The main player I can think of from that kind of stretch, and then I don't know how far east or west you want to go, but right off of 35 at Temple High School, there's Jamarian Carlson, defensive end prospect. Texas kind of has, over the past couple months, they were kind of running behind in this recruitment, and USC started to look good. But over in the past, month and a half or so, the Longhorns and Lee Allen Clark, the Edges coach, has really helped the Longhorns in this area. There's a lot of influence at Temple that is very, very receptive to Texas, and that's had the Longhorns looking better and better for Carleton of late. So that's the main one I can think of in this upcoming 2026 class. I know there's some prospects around Pflugerville. I know Liberty Hill has more than a kicker this year. They've got a defensive lineman that's being looked at by a few different big schools. And I know that at some point, like Travis is going to be able to get it going again. I know Westlake, their quarterback is committed to Ole Miss at the current juncture, Reese Wise. So you're still seeing teams come into the Austin area recruited as well. Bastrop, I guess if you want to go that far east, Tiki Hola is committed to Notre Dame. They have a 2027 quarterback, and I think in Weston Nielsen. So still a lot of talent here in this neck of the woods, and more teams are coming in to try and grab it.
No doubt. And then you can also go out to Lago Vista, where Sway Griffin, Cedric Griffin's son, and you mentioned Lake Travis, where Michael Griffin's son. So the Griffin boys, you want to look at some lineage, that's where I would always start. We're talking to Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him on social media at Joseph Cook 89. I also want to go to the hardwood, Joe, talk a little bit of basketball. Austin Goolsby, Trevor Goolsby's little brother out of Melissa, is the #1 rated prospect in the state of Texas by some recruiting services, but there's some other guys that are starting to get some buzz, and Sean Miller is making his way during this live period right now.
Yeah, to start with Gooseby, obviously Texas legacy, but Sean Miller talked a lot about being involved with the top players in the state, and that's definitely what Gooseby is. Top 3 prospect in Texas, and someone that I think Texas would be recruiting even if there weren't any family connections, but family connections help. Texas seems to be the leader right now. Not sure who the competition is, and you're going to see competition for someone like him, but the Longhorns are in good shape there. They're going all over the state. Billy White out of Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial. That's someone at the wing position they're recruiting. Dakari Spear, another guard from the Colony. And then, of course, you have, speaking of Austin talent, Bo Ogden. Chris Ogden's son goes to St. Michael's. Someone who I think in recent weeks on some of these select tournaments has done some awesome stuff shooting from the field. So a lot of different places where you're finding basketball talent. And I think one of the cool things is, I'm looking through the list of all these different prospects in Texas. And at this point, I'm not sure, whether there have been any that transferred out or anything like that, but like all these different players go to a variety of different schools. I've seen some from some of the, Supreme Court schools up in the north side in San Antonio, Lufkin, and even, Midland has some prospects, and then you get the normal DFW and Houston influence. So a lot of different places where you can find basketball in the state of Texas, and that's where Sean Miller is looking for it.
We're going to let you go with this because there's so much that is going on, but Texas baseball got some recognition, obviously, with Dylan Volantis being freshman of the year and Coach Schlossnagel being head coach of the year. It's a big year for the Texas Longhorns as they finish the season as the #1 ranked team and winning the SEC. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think a lot of Texas fans may kind of look at a team that went 22-8 and won the SEC by 2 games and wonder how there were only 2 all SEC selections. But I didn't really disagree with it all that much. And I think, had Jim Schlossnagle not caught in Coach of the Year, I would have been wondering what was happening. But it's really hard for me to think, that that aside from Rylan Galvan and Dylan Volantis, like that anybody was really snubbed. Maybe Kimball Schuessler was, but I know first base is a premium position in this league, and I'm glad he was rewarded with all defense. But I think the fact just kind of speaks to what Jim Schlossnagle and company have been able to get out of this team. They're all, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. I think that's what we've been saying about this team for a long time, but they're also just kind of timely. They've pitched really well. They've played defense really well. I'm sure that when, coaches are making their votes, they value the flash just as much as anybody else does. And I think Texas probably would have landed a couple more had Max Ballou and Jared Spencer stayed healthy the full season. So you could probably argue that they had 4 all SEC caliber players, just, a couple weren't there to make it happen. But, I honestly think it makes sense. And hey, maybe it's a chip on the shoulder. I'm really curious to see how the program really handles the SEC tournament. I always am of the opinion that you should try to win everything that you take part in, especially when you look at the draw you have in the SEC tournament, where you only have to win 3 games.
Right.
You don't have to win 4. You don't have to win 5. You're going to get that extra day off, most likely, as a regional host, or extra 6 or 7 hours off because you can choose your time slot. I say try to win it, of course, but I'm also not out here throwing Dylan Volantis 3 days in a row. Happy medium. It's nice to raise trophies. All the games have meaning. We'll see what the program thinks, and then we'll see on a Monday morning what where they want to send them, or rather, I guess, who they want to send to Austin for the NCAA.
Oh, wow. No doubt, man. Appreciate you as always. Always love the conversation and definitely the insight. We'll talk again next week as we get ready for the regionals right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Bonus bucks. Bonus bucks. Once you win $1,000 in bonus bucks, you'll have more money to use on your fantasy leagues. Bonus bucks. The winning happens every weekday right here
on 1300 The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Taking a look at the drive this morning on I-35 going southbound, about a 10-minute delay due to congestion between Highway 45 over to Runberg Lane. There's also an accident on Springdale Road at the eastbound service road of Highway 290. Watch out for an accident on St. Elmo Road at Pleasant Valley, as well as an accident on 620 at North Quinlan Park. I'm Jason Fossey with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bosch. With the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer, you can conquer your construction needs, and you can powerfully break through concrete. Get the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
When divorce puts your life's work on the line, Cordell & Cordell is ready to help you protect it. As a business owner, you've dedicated years building a legacy now at risk due to divorce. Let our experienced family law attorneys fight for you and that legacy. Cordell & Cordell is one of the nation's largest family law firms. Call to schedule your consultation today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, principal partner. CordellCordell.com.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating.
Keep celebrating when you bundle and save with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Power of Dell AI with Intel inside is transforming the world of pro sports.
Teams can see curveballs coming with predictive analytics. Coaches can use AI insights to help players improve their shots in real time. And fans can get more out of every winning moment with AI-enhanced replays.
Unbelievable! What a play!
See how Dell Technologies with Intel Inside can power your wins at Dell.com/win.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings. The riveting podcast, What Happened to Talina Czar, unravels the chilling mystery surrounding a woman's disappearance during the COVID-19 lockdown, the internet sleuths who wouldn't let it go, and the dark subcultures and betrayals they unearthed.
There were a lot of secrets that were very hard to find.
Listen to What Happened to Talina Czar on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow What Happened to Talina Czar and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the start of summer 2025. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Make sure you have the free iHeartRadio app in your phone today.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
In the Northeast, expect mostly sunny skies with highs in the low to mid-70s from Philadelphia through to Portland, Maine. In the Southeast, the heat is building up with highs pushing into the low 90s with sticky humidity. Scattered afternoon thunderstorms are likely, especially in Florida, Georgia, and along the Gulf Coast. Across the Midwest, a low-pressure system is bringing widespread showers and possible thunderstorms from Missouri to Michigan. Temperatures stay seasonable with highs in the upper 60s to the mid-70s. In the central and southern plains, the threat of severe weather continues. Strong to heavy thunderstorms are possible across Oklahoma, northern Texas, and southern Kansas. Temperatures will be in the low 80s. The Southwest remains dry and extremely hot. Triple-digit highs are expected again in parts of Arizona, southern Nevada, and inland southern California. Meanwhile, in the Pacific Northwest, it's cooler and damp with clouds and light rain from Seattle to western Montana. Highs expected to remain in the upper 50s to the mid-60s. That's your national forecast. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Wake up with Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Shout out to our guy Joe Cook of Inside Texas, giving a great insight to all of the signings and the upcoming recruiting circle for the University of Texas. But right now, we want to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest October the 25th at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. All you got to do is get over to that always free iHeartRadio app, search for AM 1300 The Zone, and tap that red microphone and leave the keyword of the day, and it is Brit. Brit is the keyword of the day to win a chance to get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest October the 25th. I want to get into this conversation because we haven't talked a lot of Major League Baseball right now, and Major League Baseball has done an unbelievable job of getting things taken care of. And right now, the Major League All-Star Game will be played in Atlanta, Georgia. And before the MLB All-Star Game is played, they always play the Futures Game, the MLB Futures Game. And it's a unique situation because it's all the stars of tomorrow that are getting a chance to play in these games. And the best part about it is they normally try to get some of the great players that played in that city. Well, this year, our good friend Chipper Jones will be managing the National League team, and the American League team will be managed by Marquise Grissom, former Atlanta Brave, former Montreal Expo, and actually someone that mentored me when I got drafted by Montreal. So two people that were integral in my baseball career are now getting a chance to manage as they both played for the Atlanta Braves. They will also have Hall of Famer Fred McGriff, two-time MVP, most valuable player of the NL, Dale Murphy, five-time All-Star Andrew Jones, four-time All-Star Tim Hudson, and three-time Gold Glove winner Nick Markakis. And they will all be a part of that. On the National League side, Chipper will have Andrew Jones as his hitting coach and Tim Hudson as his pitching coach. And on the American League side, Fred McGriff will be the hitting coach. Crime dog. That's right. And Dale Murphy will be the first base coach. As you know, Chipper Jones is a regular on our show, and I will try to get him on next week to talk about this. The game will be played July the 12th at Truist Park. It's a 7-inning game, and it is scheduled to have the first pitch at 3:10. Every coach on the staff has spent time with the Braves. They will also have Mark DeRosa, who will be coaching the USA team for the Olympics. He will be coaching the USA team for the Olympics. You will also have Marvin Freeman, Brian Hunter, Ryan Klesko, and Johnny Estrada, all former Braves that were a part of the team that went to the World Series and won the pennant, the National League pennant, from 96 to 99.
It's always good to see when you get paid respect and you played for a franchise and they're doing it at that facility. You would think that would be the move to make, and they did.
And the story behind that, too, it just so happens that the SEC Media Days are right around there again. So in the ATL. So there may be a special road trip that we may be trying to make during that time. Might have to get out there a little bit earlier than expected so we can be a part
with Chipper
of the festivities as much as we can. We'll start talking a lot of Major League Baseball as we start talking about Rookie of the Year, where these teams are headed. You saw last night that the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani keeps doing his thing. Mookie Betts keeps doing his thing. And the division leaders keep rolling on. Some young prospects will be making their way to the major leagues pretty soon as well. Hour number 1 is in the books. Coming up in hour number 2, we will have discussions about the NFL. Tush push. Which quarterback has the most to prove? And oh yeah, you already know number 4 will be in that conversation. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Hey everybody, it's Mike Hardball Hardge.
And this is the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
And we're here to talk to you about MyPlates.com.
Tell them about it, Mike.
Mark, when you're on the road and looking at the vehicles, what's the first thing you see?
Well, I'm usually a nice car, but the plates, baby.
At MyPlates.com, you can create a plate that shows exactly who you are.
Like the one I'm thinking about, the world's strongest man. Had to let them know.
Come on, you can get colors, styles, slogans. MyPlates lets you flex your Texas pride your way.
Big truck, big attitude, and it's better to have a plate to match it.
Hit up MyPlates.com today and put in the promo code THEZONE. That's The Zone, all one word, for up to $55 in savings. And make your ride look as good as you do.
Or even better, MyPlates.com.
That's the way to go. And tell them Hardball Hardge
and Mark Henry
sent you.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check for your wallet first before hitting the drive-thru.
$6. Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Retirement statements just hit mailboxes, and for many, the shock is real. Some investors lost 20% or more in just the first quarter. If you're close to retirement, that's more than a dip. It's a danger. But here's what most advisors won't tell you. Gold was up over 30% during the same time. That's a 60% swing. And in retirement, that kind of gap can change everything. So compare your Q1 statement to gold's performance. Then call Noble Gold Investments. Noble Gold specializes in helping people protect what they've earned with real assets like gold and silver. If you're tired of watching your nest egg shrink, it may be time for a change. And right now, when you open a qualified account, you'll receive a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar. Compare and call 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Shop simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. So Riata Ford in Manor has made it simple. Pick yours at riataford.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leif Johnson's Riata Ford in Manor has made buying a new Ford simple.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Hey, friends. I'm Jessica Capshaw.
And this is Camilla Luddington.
And we have a new podcast. Call It What It Is. You may know us from Graceland Memorial, but did you know that we are actually besties in real life?
When one of us sends out the distress signal, the other one always answers the call. Big or small, we're there.
And what does that look like? 1,000 pep talks, 1,000,000 I've got yous, some very urgent I'm coming overs. Because, I don't know, let's face it, life can get even crazier than a season finale of Grey's Anatomy.
And now here we are, opening up the friendship circle.
Someone's cheating?
We've got you on that.
In-laws are in-lying?
Let's get into it.
Toxic friendship?
Air it out.
We're on your side to help you with your concerns, talk about ours, and every once in a while, bring on an awesome guest to get their take on the things that you bring us. Listen to Call It What It Is on the iHeartRadio app.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff on a Turn Up Tuesday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. In hour number 1, we talked about Texas baseball and their award ceremony that they had where a lot of guys got recognized. We also talked about the Western Conference Finals and who the key players are. And we got a donut wager somehow, some way out of this. And we got Joe Cook of Inside Texas giving us his insights to all things Texas Longhorns. And we talked MLB future games. Right now, we're going to get into the NFL. In the next segment, we'll talk about the quarterbacks that have the most to prove, and this is brought to you by CBS Sports. But right now, I want to get into the NFL. Adam Schefter broke some news yesterday, and Ian Rappaport came back with it today, talking about the NFL and its players having the ability to play in the Olympics flag football.
Yeah, that really does seem like the way this is going. That seems like the momentum toward getting this thing done, getting NFL players to participate in the Olympics, playing flag football. I cannot believe these are real sentences that we are saying, but this is really where we are, and this is where the general feeling from the league is. And it's it's not something that is, I would say, a slam dunk as far as the memo showed us. Like, there are certainly things to discuss. For instance, as of right now, it would be one player per team, and then you could also designate an international player. Well, what if more than one player on your team warrant being on a certain team, whether it's our country or another one? That would be a question. What if a coach says to a player, hey, I know you're allowed to participate, but I'd really, really like for you not to? How do you deal with that then? So there are certainly some things to work out. Insurance is going to be handled by the NFL. Medically, it's going to be fine. But what if a player gets injured? How do you handle it? There are for sure questions, but based on the kind of feel that I'm getting from talking to people involved in this, it seems there's a very good chance we see NFL players in what's going to be during training camp playing flag football in the Olympics.
Mark, I didn't get a chance to ask you your thoughts on this. Do you think NFL players should be playing flag football?
Yes. I think for entertainment purposes, one, and there's a lot of guys that would love to represent their country. But I think your big money guys are going to be like, maybe not. I don't want to jeopardize this $100 million contract. So if you see guys, it's going to be guys that, you know, they're trying to get recognized. They're not, they want opportunity.
Marcus?
I think the key is a lot of guys going to have a little pride in it's the first time. A lot of guys going to be the first. And the question is how are they going to position guys to play flag football?
What do you mean by that?
Flag football, you can't just chunk out a normal NFL lineup with offensive linemen, and it's like even a lineman are eligible receivers in flag football. So it's going to be basically a skill position players.
Glorified 7-on-7.
That's exactly what it is, a 7-on-7. So I understand where you're going with it, and I do believe that there will be some pushback. I don't think that we should have the NFL players playing in it. There's people that
So you don't want the NBA basketball players?
No, that's totally different. Flag and real is totally different.
Well, that's true.
So,
but I'm just saying, like, why negate one group of guys that may want an Olympic experience over another?
I have no problem with the Olympic experience. If they were having real football playing, then we would have to put together an all-star team. But do you want to go out there and see Tyreek Hill tear his knee up playing flag football?
No, I don't.
And I mean,
That's why I said it's going to be guys that are, you know, they want to get a look. They want a chance. They want people to see their speed. They want an opportunity with a club, you know, that they're not on yet.
Right. So let me ask you this. So looking at this, and I have no problem, to be quite honest with you. If they want to do it, do it. I'm going to watch it regardless because it's part of the Olympic experience. But there are other ways and other players that have had this opportunity that have been doing this their whole life, that are some talented flag football players. This is how they make their living. Are you going to make it open for those types of players to come in and play in this game as well? Yeah, like he said, this ain't going to be run like the NFL. It's a totally different time, totally different game. Major League Baseball is letting Major League players play in the Olympics, and they needed to do that. But it's a different situation. And the one thing that always scares me about these Olympic situations, the field conditions. We literally just talked about this, about going to play in Buenos Aires. That's not the same as playing at Jerry World, where they actually have the
correct.
Yes. So those
surface to play on.
Exactly.
You don't want a Robert Elwood situation.
Exactly, where he tore his whole knee out and his whole career was over. I know he said that the insurance is going to be covered by the NFL. Cover that for somebody else. Do that for somebody else.
They're going to also have to compensate teams for injuries if that's the case. If they want to push this that badly, and I'm talking the league wise, a player get hurt in the Olympics, and that's one of your best players, and all of a sudden now,
I don't care if it's a backup.
Yeah.
Well,
Like somebody get hurt, somebody get hurt.
Correct. Their career.
And there's a chance.
Yeah, for sure. And again, there's a chance for anything. I get that. I totally understand that. But I'm just basically playing devil's advocate in this situation because there will be a situation that comes up that says, hey, man, we put ourselves in a bad situation. This is where we are right now. So we'll see how it plays out. Another one of those conversations that is being had right now has a lot to do with the tush push. The tush push is a topic of conversation that is being addressed as we speak. And the latest on the tush push that has been thrown out there is the Packers have submitted a revisional proposal to ban the tush push, prohibiting any players pushing or pulling the ball carrier anywhere on the field. The NFL owners will discuss and vote on it this week. So we've had this conversation before. We understand
many times
the tush push and its benefit. I don't want you to take away the quarterback sneak. But what I do want to make sure of is that we're not having people behind the line of scrimmage being able to move the scrum or pull the ball carrier to get to the goal line.
I cannot believe that you and I are seeing things exactly the same.
It's a miracle.
Oh my gosh. Hey,
Marcus,
write it down.
It's a miracle that we are having this discussion and we are agreeing. Air high fives.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. I'm just tired of seeing running backs grab the quarterback by the backside and push him forward.
Right.
If you're gonna do a quarterback sneak, spread everybody out, let your quarterback dive through like it was when we were kids.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Don't grab him and pull him over the line, offensive lineman. Like that's 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, and
now
that's
you
the
go
other
from
part.
the 1-yard line to being on the 16.
Let's put it in a whole nother perspective as well. You cannot touch the center on a deep snap,
right?
At all. Why are we allowing this situation to happen where we are really trying to combust everything and condense it in one section to where this is happening?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I don't even remember when the first time I saw the tush push, but I do remember the first time I recognized he pushing him in the back.
Yep.
What is he doing?
Yep.
And then they was, that's the tush push. That's rugby.
Tush push.
It's called rugby.
I agree.
I agree. It's not tush push, it's rugby.
And so that is why I start to listen and look at how the game is being played. What are we judging these things on, and how is this going about? And I firmly believe that this now has to be changed. And I'm not in agreement with the Green Bay Packers all the way, but I am in agreement about the fact that nobody should be able to come up and push somebody from behind to be able to get them to go forward, because the defense can't push each other. Can the defense push each other
No,
too?
you cannot.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what's going to happen too? All of these offensive linemen that see the quarterback get stuck and run and go hit their own quarterback in the back to make them go forward, that's going to get called too.
Yeah. Yep. So we will definitely see what ends up happening now, but I'm excited about the NFL. We have so much that is going on in the NFL. This offseason has actually been really good if you've been paying any parts of attention to this stuff, because there's a lot that is happening. So right now, when we come back, we're going to talk NFL quarterbacks. And CBS wrote a story about 5 quarterbacks that need to make a difference, and they ranked them. But I'm going to give us an opportunity to rank these as well.
Okay,
right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
The voice of the Horns, Craig Way on 1300 The Zone, weekdays at 2.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND. That's GRAND. Enter it now at am1300thezone.com.
AM 1300 The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
There's a stalled vehicle in the express lane on Mopac southbound Duval, causing about a 5-minute delay from Howard Street, as well as an accident on Lamar Boulevard at West St. John's Avenue. And looking at the drive on I-35 southbound, some stop-and-go traffic, adding 15 minutes to the drive between Highway 45 and Runberg Lane. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Need an AC company you can count on? Call Abacus. From tune-ups to repairs and the latest indoor air quality solutions, Abacus can do it all. Now get 0% financing for 60 months on select Linux systems. If you want the best, call Abacus. You can count on us.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
When divorce places your home, finances, or kids in jeopardy, Cordell & Cordell is here to fight to protect your interests. Cordell & Cordell is committed to advocating for your rights in divorce and family law matters, providing the legal experience to fight for success. Call today for a consultation and details on our military service member pricing.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, principal partner. CordellCordell.com.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Well, check out Ice Cube's Big 3 all summer long. Fast, physical, and fun. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $500,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
Football fans, the countdown is on. The rookies are ready. The matchups are heating up, and it's time to plan your game day. TickPick has you covered with no hidden fees and the lowest price guarantee. So whether you're heading to a rivalry game or just want a weekend experience, you'll pay less and get more. TickPick gives you all-in-one pricing and the lowest price guarantee. They're so confident, they back it up with their best price guarantee. Visit TickPick.com and score your seats before the best matchups are gone. $10 off your NFL order with code FS10 on the TickPick app.
Summer is better with True Green, especially when it's at a price this low. For a limited time, get 75% off your first treatment and enjoy a great lawn without breaking the bank. True Green delivers expert care with a plan tailored to your lawn's needs, so it looks its best and you save big. Let the pros handle the work while you sit back and relax and enjoy the results. A great lawn's never been this easy or this affordable. Sign up now at truegreen.com. Restrictions apply.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. We cover all 40 acres.
Coming up in the next segment, we will have the world's strongest man bringing you his world's strongest take. And I'm sure that you do not want to miss out on that. But right now, I want to get into this conversation about the NFL. Yes, there was a lot of conversation about the tush push, and now we just had that conversation about the Olympics and should they be playing. But one of the stories that is out there right now, and it was just written on not ESPN, but CBS Sports. And the title is 5 quarterbacks that have the most approved coming in to 2025. And of course, you know who's at the top of that list, coming in at number 5. Not at the top of it, but he's coming in at number 5 is the one and only Dak Prescott.
You got a lot to prove, Hardge. You got a lot to prove.
What does he have to prove? Come on, talk to me.
He's got to prove that he can win in a division where they pay him the most money in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Earn it. I told you, Dak's number one problem is confidence. Can you get over that? Because let somebody jump off sides or holding, or he sees something. He throws with such confidence and accuracy, and he throws deep when he does it.
That's what you're supposed to do.
You are, but you got to be that guy all the time. The greats, they always feel like the number one option is them. Dak, he don't feel like that. He need to develop. I wish I could talk to him, because I always tell people confidence is not everything, but it's an unwritten thing that adds to your machismo. It adds to your greatness. You got to know you better than that other man across the line from you. And Dak don't believe it. He don't believe it.
You know, he finished second in the MVP voting last year.
I know he did. He should have finished first. If he'd have believed in himself, he would have been.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all tripping.
Yeah. We tripping?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I agree with you. He does need to step it up. I agree with you that he needs to become.
End of story. Yeah, I win.
No, you don't win.
I won.
I don't forget this game is.
You're right. You said I was right.
I was giving you credit. For some of the statement that you were putting out there. Not all of it. I don't think he lacks confidence. What I do think he lacks is one of the things that had made him great, and that was the ability to be mobile. I think that's why he's lost a ton of weight. I think that's why he's put himself back into prime Dak territory, because he knows I don't have to run around near as much. I got to avoid sacks. I've got to get outside the pocket, and I've got to run to extend plays. I don't have to be our leading rusher. You went out and got some plays. Now you got a new offense. It's going to be even better. And for those that aren't aware, Dak is one of the best quarterbacks off of play action. But if you don't have a running game, you can't run play action because it's a false narrative.
Right.
So we'll see what happens after that. You do have
also
some playmakers.
Another wide receiver.
You got some playmakers now. You got George Pickens and you got CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, CeeDee is who he is, and George Pickens, I'm expecting to have a big year. But again, you got a new coach in Schottenheimer. Let's see how that plays out. Another name that is on this list that I don't believe needs to be on this list is J.J. McCarthy. They have him with the most to prove in 2025. It's a little bit crazy to think that this guy hadn't played a game yet, but yet he's in the list to have the most to prove.
I don't think he should be on the list.
I don't think he is.
Can we replace him with Caleb?
We can, but let's get through this list first, and then you can replace him. So J.J. McCarthy's name is on there, and now they believe that he has a lot to prove. Still don't understand why they feel like that. He hadn't even played an NFL game yet, but they believe that he has something to prove.
It may have something to do with his preseason last year before he got injured. He was doing the best of any rookie quarterback in preseason. And once he got injured, he didn't get a chance to prove that. So I guess they say, well, he did it last year. Let's just heap him in there again this year.
To your point, I don't think it's fair. I don't think he deserves to be in there. So we'll see what ends up. It's a little too much, and I'm starting to have a problem with that. I'm starting to have a real problem with that.
Wow.
Bryce Young, the former #1 overall pick, he
shouldn't be on the list.
I think that he's gotten better as the season went on last year. He was going through some personal stuff off the field. He was replaced at the starting quarterback position. But when he came back, he became the player that he has always been since he was a little kid playing football to now in the NFL. I think he's going to be just fine. I don't think he's going anywhere. Anthony Richardson, now we're talking.
Ooh.
Now we're talking. This is an opportunity for this young man who has the greatest upside of anybody, and he's got a talent. He's only going to be 23. Let's not forget that either, because a lot of teams just give up on quarterbacks at such an early age. We all know that there's a learning curve once you get to the NFL because of the speed of the game, the numbers, the way that the game is being played. But he's athletic enough, and as we talked about during the break, he definitely has the arm ability, and he has the mental. He's got to be stronger mentally to be on the field. So we'll see what ends up happening with him. But the #1 player that has the most to prove right now is Jacksonville Jaguars' Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, #1 overall pick. But here's where I side with Trevor Lawrence, and I believe that he's going to be a lot better than people think. He's playing for his third head coach. Third head coach, which means you're playing for different offensive coordinators. You're playing for different mindsets in the play calling realm. So for me, the only thing he has to do is he has to cut down on the turnovers and take care of the football. He's already been paid. They gave him $275 million last year. So this is a new coach with an offensive mindset that should help him out. And the most important thing is he's got to take care of the football.
He's also got to take care of himself. Marcus said in the break, how about throw it away? Like, don't get hit. You know you're going to get hit a little bit. It's the NFL. Guys are shying away from hitting you already. Just throw the ball away and live to play another play.
It's easy to say that.
That's his biggest fatal flaw is he thinks he's Superman.
He wants to make plays for his team.
I know he wants to make plays, but the biggest of the availability is the best ability.
Agreed.
And that guy gets hit. He got hit so hard this year that I just felt like, wow, he might not never play again. Because he set himself up. Get down.
Yeah.
Throw it away. How about just throw it from the pocket? Now, if you Lamar Jackson and your game is geared towards, I'm going to run away from people and pull the secondary close to me and then throw it over their head, yeah, he's a different player. But also, I've seen Lamar Jackson take a nuclear shot and he just dusts his pants off and go get back in the huddle. Some people are just more physically equipped for taking that beating, that pounding. Not him. He's not one of those guys.
Right.
His nickname should be tissue paper.
Oh my God. Here we go. All I know is this. Out of that list, you said you wanted to replace J.J. McCarthy with Caleb Williams.
Yes.
Why Caleb Williams?
Because they brought in an offensive coordinator. They put together this offensive line. All the things that they considered a problem, they have really good blocking running backs. Roshan Johnson from University of Texas is one of them. They added a wide receiver. They have everything that he needs. Now it's up to him.
Now he can watch some film.
And he can watch film. How about that?
Yeah.
Somebody to teach me how to. Nobody taught me how to watch film. You got one of those. You can call that play once, and then you can't never call it again because now we all know.
Right. And
that's why he got something to prove to me.
I will say this. I firmly believe that Caleb Williams is one of the most talented and most elite quarterbacks in the league. And now he has a quarterback coach or a head coach in Ben Johnson that is going to highlight what he's capable of. And to your point, they're going to protect him. They're going to make sure that he's okay. And he will show you exactly how good he truly is. And I'm on the Caleb Williams bandwagon when it comes to football.
So are we going to go through the Chicago Bears schedule like we did the rest of the schedule?
We can do that. We can absolutely do that.
Because I want to see how many games you think he's going to win.
Okay, we can do that. But we're not doing it today. We'll do it next time. But coming up next, we've got the world's strongest man bringing you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
A couple of stalled vehicles impacting the express lane on Mopac southbound. The first one's at Duval and the second one's at Highway 183. There's a wreck being worked on FM 973 at Gregg Lane and some stop-and-go traffic on I-35 northbound, causing a 15-minute delay from the 45 Southeast toll over to William Cannon. I'm Jason Fossey with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cedar Park Overhead Doors. For top quality garage doors that won't break the bank, you can count on Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Their sales reps will find the door you want, not the one they want to sell. For the best prices and the best service, call Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
Is credit card debt ruining your life? Did you know you have a right to settle that debt for much less than you owe? DebtBlue has helped people just like you resolve millions of dollars of high-interest credit card debt. They can help with payment relief, the burden of rising inflation, and have a large portion of your debt wiped clean. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, a free 10-minute phone call could save you thousands. Discover how to reduce or completely resolve your credit card debt. In fact, we're so sure that we can reduce your debt that we offer the DebtBlue Success Guarantee. We don't get paid unless your debt gets reduced or resolved, so there's absolutely no risk to call. For your free debt resolution plan, call 800-375-1158. That's 800-375-1158. The call is free. The consultation is free. The more you owe, the more you can save. Call now. 800-375-1158. 800-375-1158.
Hey, Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are raining customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow. Maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Partly cloudy skies for your Tuesday, a high of 93. Tonight's low 65. Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds, a high in the mid-90s.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Sarah Jessica Parker almost walked away from Sex and the City. She talks about that and a lot more on Are You a Charlotte? Plus, Snoop Dogg spills about his inauguration performance backlash, and trust me, he's got a lot of things to say about it with the Breakfast Club. And Aubrey O'Day, Diddy's former protege, joins Amy Robach and TJ Holmes for exclusive coverage of the trial that's gripping the nation.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Oh, you can hear it. It can only mean one thing. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, brings you his world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
All right.
What's up, man? What's up?
It's time for the world's strongest take of the world. Marcus. Back then, they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. They really are about to be on me today.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
He's feeling some type of way,
about
folks.
to be on me today. I got a couple of friends. Big San Francisco 49er fan.
Uh-oh.
Big. But you know what I got for San Francisco, Hardge? Hate.
Oh man, hate.
That's all I got. That's all I got. You paid Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, $265 million. Listen, the good thing and the bad thing. I'm gonna give the good first. I'm gonna paint a beautiful picture. They paid their quarterback. They have 6 guys that are paid for the next 2 to 5 years. They're elite guys. They got paid. Nobody could argue with the franchise, John Lynch, and say, hey, look, man, I need my money. Nobody. Their top 12 players are paid up for at least 2 to 3 seasons. The problem with that is you pay all this money for this quarterback who's not a top 15 quarterback, in my opinion. And the help on his side of the ball is very thin. Brandon Ayuk, he don't want to be there. He has to be traded. Trent Williams, 39. He's still great, but he's old. As pond water, as my grandpa. You old as pond water. George Kittle, they just paid him 4 years, $76 million. Christian McCaffrey, he's 2 years, $38 million. And I would have to go 10 players on the money list before he saw another offensive player, and that's Ricky Parcell,
who, by the way, got shot.
He got shot.
He got shot, still came back.
He gonna take a lot of shots this year.
Many men.
So my take is this. San Francisco has made a mistake. They made a big mistake. They paid all these defensive players. Nick Bosa, Lenore, Fred Warner, they just gave 3 years, $60 million to. Michael Williams, you need him. He's a great corner. Gross Matos, Jake Brendel, Luke Farrell. You need these defensive players. But who's going to score? And I know that it's coming across as hate. It's coming across as hate. But I'm going to tell you, Hardge, I think it's mismanagement. They have made a mistake in paying Brock Purdy all that money. And I know that franchise, I know you're mad at me right now, but it's going to get easier. It's going to get easier. You're going to learn to love it. But my take is they paid Brock Purdy unjustly because they didn't want to lose their quarterback. Because of he was Mr. Irrelevant. They had him for 4 years, including this year, and he was only getting paid $870,000. And they're trying to repay that. And they don't want to lose what they already have. What say you?
Okay, so here's where I think the 49ers have done a great job of balancing their books. They've done a great job of keeping their players that are integral to the success that they have. You know as well as I do, if you don't have a quarterback, it's going to be a tough season.
You don't have nothing.
You're gonna have a tough time. And they believed in what Brock Purdy did so well that they traded they traded for picks to get rid of Trey Lance, who they traded picks to get him. So obviously you can't walk away from this situation. They didn't pay him the ridiculous amount of money compared to what other people are getting. That's the quarterback market. What have I always said?
Pay the market.
You gotta, if the market is dictating this amount of money, then why would I come in and try to give you a deal? Because I'm messing it up for everybody else, number one. Number two,
okay.
Fred Warner got a 3-year, $63 million deal with $56 million. That is your cornerstone of your defense. He is your defense. He's the quarterback. You paid Kittle, who you paid 4 years, $76 million. You need the safety blanket for your quarterback that you just paid all the money. Brock Purdy was the last pick in the draft. He's earned that. Warner was a 3rd-round pick, still a bargain. And Kittle was a 5th-round pick. These guys have been, you've gotten over because of their talent. Great scouting by your crew. But you got your homegrown guys. Grow them in your system that make you got each level taken care of. I think they've done a great job with these extensions. They don't just spend frivolously. You got your left tackle, Trent Williams, who's one of the best in the game. People just don't know if Trent wants to play football anymore. But if he does, who's better than him? Nobody.
There's nobody better than him.
So you have your things that are there. And I would have to agree. Marcus, hate is what you was doing.
I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts.
That is what you were dealing with right there. That's straight hate. And as a Cowboy fan, I'm hating with you. Hate. Another great take by the world's strongest man right here on a Turn Up Tuesday edition of the Morning Morning Kickoff. When we come back, we'll close out the show, send you to Dan Patrick. But I got something to say. And we've got baseball. That's right, morning baseball. That is happening right now. Morning Kickoff will be back in just a moment, right here on the Morning Kickoff.
It's the Craig Way Show. If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
A couple of stalled vehicles impacting the express lane on Mopac southbound. The first one's at Duval and the second one's at Highway 183. There's a wreck being worked on FM 973 at Gregg Lane and some stop-and-go traffic on I-35 northbound, causing a 15-minute delay from the 45 Southeast toll over to William Cannon. I'm Jason Fossling with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Spurs Sports Academy summer camps are back, now in San Antonio and Austin, June through August. Choose from a variety of camps for boys and girls of all ages and skill levels. Get elite training, court time, custom awards, and appearances by Spurs players and more. Lock in your spot now at spurs.com/summercamps.
Buying a new house might make you say,
"Shut the front door."
Winning!
This is my house now, baby.
But you actually need to say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there to help you choose the coverage you need.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Hey, it's Craig Way. You know, automobile accidents are challenging. You can feel pressure to accept whatever your insurance company is telling you. Don't do it. DJC Law can help you appeal any denied, delayed, or underpaid claim. With over 25 years of experience, DJC Law can appeal your claim. They can explain your rights, and they can guide you on communicating with the insurance company to ensure you get the justice you deserve. They've aided hundreds of clients in winning against insurance companies with over 1,000 five-star reviews to prove it. Call 512-888-9999 to schedule your free consultation. They can meet you in their office, at your home, even in the hospital, and you pay nothing unless they win. That number is 512-888-9999. Don't settle. Call it 512-888-9999 and get your justice. TeamJustice.com. DJC Law, Principal Office, Austin, Texas.
The riveting podcast, What Happened to Talina Czar, unravels the chilling mystery surrounding a woman's disappearance during the COVID-19 lockdown, the internet sleuths who wouldn't let it go, and the dark subcultures and betrayals they unearthed.
There were a lot of secrets that were very hard to find.
Listen to What Happened to Talina Czar on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow What Happened to Talina Czar and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
If you're in the market for a wood fence for your home or business, Viking Fence is the right choice for you. Viking Fence has been in business for over 50 years and takes pride in being the most reliable fence company in Central Texas. Viking Fence does gorgeous work, from simple privacy fences to custom projects. Their quality is unmatched. Viking is the only fence company with their own facility where they custom cut red cedar, the most durable and attractive of fence materials, and offer 3 grades of fence pickets, one for every budget. Compare their lumber against the big box stores. And there is no comparison on quality and price. So whether Viking installs your fence or you're doing it yourself, Viking Fence will ensure your satisfaction. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 for a free estimate or visit their wood fence galleries at vikingfence.com. When you think fence, think Viking.
Another checkup?
Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's a good boy? Oh, what? Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the start of summer 2025. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Make sure you have the free iHeartRadio app in your phone today.
Bex is the on your way, less to pay for everyday store. The fun starts here.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
If you missed any part of the show, all you have to do is get over to AM 1300 on the podcast page, wherever you get your podcast, on the AM1300thezone.com. Get over to the always free iHeartRadio app. You know, the one that you've already downloaded and preset for us to be a part of. I want to thank our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas, as he joined us today and talked a lot about Texas athletics, the baseball team, the football team, and of course, he even dropped some knowledge on the basketball team. And the SEC tournament is getting started today. First game will take place at 9:30 this morning in Hoover, Alabama. Shout out to LSU, as you were the first ones to get to Hoover, Alabama, and set down your tailgating prowess as always. We also want to make sure that we remind you that Rylan Galvan was named first team all conference, and Dylan Volantis was the freshman of the year and also named first team all conference. Coach Schlossnagle was named SEC coach of the year with his first year at the University of Texas. We also had our defense named pretty much all the defensive players. You had Kimball Schuessler at first base, named to the all-defensive team, along with Ethan Mendoza. Also, you had Rylan Galvan on the defensive team, and you also had Will Gasparino in the outfield. Last but not least, you have Rylan Galvan, who is also being a finalist for the Catcher of the Year Buster Posey Award, as well as Schlossnagle. And Dylan Volantis has been named as a watch list player, a semifinalist for the Golden Spikes Award for top baseball player in the country. So
Wow.
Texas has been well represented throughout this entire process, and I can't wait to see what happens. As I mentioned, the SEC tournament is taking place starting today. All tournaments, conference tournaments, Big 12 tournament has started. There's so much that is going on. And as I said, at 9 or 10:30 this morning, you have Missouri taking on Alabama, followed by Kentucky taking on Oklahoma. South Carolina will take on Florida. And the nightcap tonight will be Texas A&M taking on Mississippi State. And then the winners will advance. Texas doesn't play until Thursday. They got the double bye. So you get to go out there and just kick it and have a good time for a while.
No, let's don't kick it. Let's rest.
Yeah, they need to enjoy it, man. They need to make sure that they take their time and have a good time out there. So speaking of a good time, if you need to have a good time, we want to give a special shout out to one of our sponsors, and that is Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks has been doing this for quite some time. They've been a major contributor to this show. We did our draft party over there.
Yep.
We've done some pregame shows over there as well. So if you want us to talk about your business or give you a chance to talk to us about expanding your business, all you have to do is follow us on social media and give us hit us on our social media. I am at Hardball Hardge. He is at the Mark Henry.
That's right.
And we would love to partner up with you. Mark, what you got going on today?
You know what, man? I got a big lunch meeting.
Breakfast
meeting.
Yep.
And brunch.
Yeah, brunch.
And it's just breakfast and lunch together. And I got to make sure that I get a shoulder harness for JoJo because she's got a little issue with her shoulder wrestling.
Don't bring up shoulders, man. I'm still dealing with mine right now, man.
Yeah,
emotional.
Sorry about that.
Emotional. All right, I'm gonna bring this up because I really did not want to bring this up, and I even threw this at Marcus earlier. There's a debate online right now that has zero to do with the actual sport, and this is the RG3 versus Ryan Clark situation about this, that, or whatever. This is the one thing that I want to make sure that, because I don't want to talk about it at the level in which they are, because they're going at each other and they can do that all they want to. But the thing that I really want to point out is the jabs at each other have zero to do with the actual game that was being played on the court. That's what started all this. That's what the conversation was about to be about. And then things got personal. And when you get things to become personal, obviously, there's people that are picking sides now. There's no side to pick. The problem is this. Talk about the play and what happened. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, they've already had their discussion.
They'd say so.
They've already said it was basketball. Now we've moved on. They have moved on. But it seems like the country, and what I mean by that is people in our business, have decided that they want to continue to push the narrative, but they're not pushing the narrative about the game. They're pushing it at each other. And it kind of takes away from the entire story of what this was truly about. So for me, I'm over it. I'm excited about basketball, and the WNBA is getting a lot of credit for this conversation. But tonight, it's the NBA. And tonight is the Western Conference Finals. Minnesota taking on OKC.
The Donut Bowl.
This is the Donut Bowl. That's right. For those that are just trying to figure out what the heck the Donut Bowl is all about, Mark and I have a wager about this series that happens to be about donuts. And he believes that Anthony Edwards will what?
Not have a great series.
Okay, what are we considering great? Because we got to get some finality on
He'll be the reason that they don't win this series, basically. He will not be a guy that scores 25 points. Okay. He will not have double-digit assists. He will not be able to defend against the offensive players for Oklahoma City. The complete three-way gambit. He is going to fail miserably because he thinks shoot first, show you up first, rather than to do what you're saying is facilitate offense for your teammates so you can get an open shot. You don't think that way.
Okay.
I just want my Sion. Hey, my man over there at Shipley's, get him ready. You know what I like. I want my donut.
Hey, make sure y'all hit up Mark Henry and tell him how crazy he sounds. Because you know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because Anthony Edwards is him, as the kids like to say. For Marcus, for Mark Henry,
like you.
I'm Hardball Hardge. And just remember this. Don't believe everything you see. Because even donuts look like
Oh, stop it.
We'll see y'all tomorrow because even salt looks like sugar. Peace. Graduation season is here and summertime's right behind it. Celebrate big with a new ride from Cover Ford and Hutto. Right now, $14,421 off of MSRP on a new 2024 Ford Expedition Limited. $12,346 off of MSRP on a new 2024 Ford Bronco Badlands. $10,138 off of MSRP on a